So, Gary, I thought this worthy of responding to here. I am a very broad-based study. I've got a library with probably every religious book, even several versions of the Quran up there. I have studied things about your religion, about all world religions that you should be focused on. Instead of coming and telling me what I've learned from Sean Carroll and I put it out there, and I'm not going to argue or have a discussion with you on that. What I want to do is show you what you should be looking at in your own material. Let me read some of my research to you. Myth and religions are framed on one single template. Watch for the common motifs or repeating teaching between the Buddha and Jesus Christ, which signify the start of an inward journey. These are both cryptic in the same style of mental shifting of analogous verbiage, however sounding very different, without seeing the nested concept. These are all mental and will be managed as a mental step that need to be interpreted. Now, what happened to the Buddha? When he got underway, he leaves all behind, crosses the threshold, and enters the space under the Bodhi tree. He fasts and meditates until he has found his inner preparedness. He is tempted by Mara, but resists the temptation of sin. He gathers his monks, teaches them, and begins his travels to teach. 500 years later, Jesus leaves all behind and crosses the threshold of a baptism by John and enters the wilderness for 40 days. He fasts and prays until he has found his inner preparedness. He is tempted by Satan, but resists the temptation of sin. He gathers his disciples, teaches them, and begins his ministry to teach. What, did Jesus find his Buddha nature? In a word, yes, and he called it the kingdom of heaven within. Jesus is a religious genre of repeating monomyth which impacts the psychology of the human masses, the many called. The few chosen are the ones who actually follow his path, not worship him as the savior awaiting for his return. The Buddha teaches karma. Jesus teaches the measure you meet into others will be meted right back at you. Those are cause and effect through mental judgments. The Buddha seek emptiness. Jesus, blessed are the poor in spirit. What are those? It's that unresolved pile of mental judgments that we're continually living through, and hating through, and judging through, and being tribal through, cycling in past pain as it puts on a new face. That's the mote in the eye that ought against our brothers, the old wine we cannot put into new wineskins. How are your philosophical chops? Here we got 17 stages of Joseph Campbell's monomyth. Monomyth. This is a common pattern from antiquity, and it includes the Bible. Got a call to adventure, refusal of the call, supernatural aid, crossing the first threshold, and belly of the whale. Let's go to Exodus. Moses is called to adventure, Mount Horeb, the burning bush. You must go. Refusal of the call. 3 times he tells him, I don't speak right, you got to send somebody else, I'm not the right one, they're not going to believe me, da-da-da-da-da-da. 3 times he refuses the call. Does he get a supernatural aid? Yeah. Throw your staff down, pick it up, bingo, you got your magic wand, your big magic wand. Crossing the first threshold, welcome to the Red Sea. Belly of the whale, welcome to 40 years in the desert. Jesus crosses a threshold, baptism, 40 days in the wilderness. You can't see those repeating motifs? Here's some more fun stuff. I'll just talk it through. I presume you know the Bible. I presume you also don't know Babylonian creation, the Enuma Elish. The Apsu creator god creates everything. Stuff starts going bad, he's gone completely. When it's time for Marduk to destroy everything, Apsu is back. The bad gets destroyed. We get to Genesis, what do we see? Cain leaves the presence of the Lord in chapter 4. God's gone. God's gone the entire time things go bad, and in chapter 6, even his sons come down and impregnate the beautiful daughters of men. Where's God? Where was God in the Babylonian story? Where's God in the Jewish story? He's not there where things are going bad. When does he return? Time to call Noah, the called hero. It's time to call Noah to come in and wipe everything out. What happens when we get down into chapter 12 and the sequence starts over again? After God puts Abram and Sarai into Canaan, into a land of famine, God disappears. Everything goes bad. God returns when? Physically, when it's time to take Abram and Sarai and convert them to Abraham and Sarah, kick butt, take names, and go destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. They're repeating motifs. You're worshiping mythology. All Abrahamics are. What you need to do is study what you have going on instead of what this is over here. You're idol-worshiping mythology. If, however, you would like to check my channel, find some other things, find the information I'm putting out there, and have a debate in this region, I'd love that. I'd love that, yeah. Meet you there. Meet you in religion class.